Hi. So we want to link Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2 of the case study pre-seen. What is in the mind of the examiner? That is one thing we are going to be looking at. Then we'll try to link the first video and the second, this video in particular, together to understand the mind of the examiner. And at the end of the day, we will provide solution to the challenges in the exhibit 2. Providing solution in exhibit 2 now, if it's going to make the video long, what we do is we split it over into the next video. Are you ready? So these are the basic things that we will be discussing now. Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2 actually they provide complementary insights, know that, into the mind of the examiner, in particular about the country's economy and hospitality, and basically they want you to integrate economic, financial, and strategic analysis that they've put together in narrative together in your solution and apply it within the context of real world framework, particularly hospitality industry. What are we going to be talking about around this, and what is in the mind of the examiner? Contextually, they are establishing in Exhibit 1 and 2 the foundation for strategic analysis. So there is going to be analysis, most likely, that you will need to conduct. Also, your role as the consultant now, which we've discussed very detailed in first video. So if you are not part of us, then you need to quickly go back to yesterday's video and examine that. Then industry specific challenges and opportunity, and that is what this particular session now is made of. Then sustainability and adaptation will be discussed. Of course, risk and financial analysis is part of what they brought forth in the exhibit 2, and we shall look at it, and we had looked at it in the first video. So check it up. Also, it is important for you to prepare your mind for proactive strategic positioning solution. Okay, that is very critical for you to do at this particular time, and also develop practical solution to the question and strategic analysis. These are important aspects of what you need to display in your answer. Having laid the foundation, let's go to the thematic connection between Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2. From the economic context, they've laid foundation for us. So the broader economic challenge and opportunity are already outlined, especially in Exhibit 2. And because it's outlined in Exhibit 2, we need to actually pay attention to those challenges in order for us to understand how to provide solution to the challenge that they've brought forth to us. Having established that, most likely question will be around macro level factors like foreign exchange constraint, infrastructure deficits, you may need to get ready for that, economic diversification solution, and also it may be mixed up with the micro level impact because of the hospitality business. On the role of you now as a consultant, we've discussed much about Dan Kabir in Exhibit 1 in the first video, and we're not going to waste time on that. Now, Exhibit 2 that we are discussing now is tied to Exhibit 1, which highlights key industrial challenges. And what are the key industrial challenges? Cost of doing business, insecurity, post-pandemic recovery issue, providing real-world scenario, and you need to provide a real-world solution to this question, seemingly asked question. Of course, it must be strategic problem solving approach. On the side of industrial specific challenge and opportunities, first of all, there was a display of poor infrastructure, sustainability demand, and skills shortage in the industry. And that's actually provide us with opportunities too, right? So we need to deploy digital transformation among so many other things, which we are going to provide more solution in details as we move on. So question area may test how well you evaluate these issues and propose practical data-backed recommendation, especially that solution that we align with hospitality clients. Now I move on to sustainability and adaptation. Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2 both touched on it. So Exhibit 2 actually emphasizes global trends like the eco-tourism, wellness tourism, if we can add educational tourism. And all this will actually require a shift toward environmentally sustainable practices. There are a lot of videos. I think I did a real live video on sustainability accounting. You may need to check my live session up over there. So Exhibit 1 also aligns with the need to assess operational and strategic business proposal. So you as Dan Kabir, you must be ready to do that. You must ensure alignment with customer needs, global best practices. I'm giving tips here as we are moving on. Another thing we need to discuss, which I highlighted when we started now, is about the financial analysis and risk analysis. My advice is you need to go to CSME playlist and check so much that have been said and put forward for you there. You need to quickly consume as much as possible of my CSME playlist for financial analysis, especially for risk assessment, risk management, and the like. Part of what you may need to discuss maybe involve exchange rate instability, business costs, financial risk analysis in business, in hospitality business. Question area. So, impact of all these issues on the financial statement, on budgeting, especially as it links and concerns Exhibit 1. You must forecast, identify weaknesses in operations, and assess financial forecast, whether they are valid and futuristic or not. These are examinable areas. I will quickly touch on proactive strategic positioning, which Exhibit 2 actually touched on. So you must ensure in your solution that proactive global measures are put in place for your organization. Many of these I'm going to talk more in the solution video. But now we are digesting and linking Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2 together. Next will be solution and challenges and opportunities. What are the challenges in Exhibit 2? They are highlighted. Economic challenges, infrastructural deficit challenge, insecurity, for policy and governance issues, impact of COVID and post-COVID recovery, corruption and transparency, environmental sustainability concern, digital and technological gap in the industry, workforce and skill deficits, and limited promotion of tourism potential of the country. These are what we will be discussing right about now in details. You need to familiarize in detail for you to be able to provide best solution when you have question that aligns with what you are already known. So on the economic challenge level, the GDP contribution of hospitality is almost zero. Foreign exchange constraint is there. Dollar pounds are rising. Naira is falling. High cost of doing business is equally there. That's a challenge. Infrastructural deficit in form of poor roads network, unreliable power supply, and inadequate transportation facility. All this will definitely affect hospitality industry. And within this context of challenges now, there are a lot of solution and business ideas and opportunities that you are expected to be bringing out, which we are going to go into. Also, limited investment in tourism is an issue that they highlight or highlighted. Insecurity, we don't need to overflog that, right? Policy and governance, a lot of inconsistent and poorly implemented governmental policies that disrupt the business, especially when it relates to hospitality. Lack of support from government in form of tourism loan, in form of hospitality business venture, idea, and sustenance. Inadequate incentive, inadequate tax regime that is appropriate to help the industry, and many other things that we can discuss under that category. Impact of COVID. We don't need to spend much time on that. Everybody knows that. So, corruption, bribery, and intransparency, they are part of the issue. Extortion, lack of accountability, and so on. Then, global competition and standard. Of course, when we are talking about this, still fall far short of global competitiveness. So, how are we going to bring it up? Dan Kabir, those are the things that the question may bring forth for you to answer. Limited adoption of certification. Majority of time, there's little or no certification. And tourism, ecotourism, educational tourism, name it, cannot be standardized. Best practices cannot be implemented without certifications. Digital and technological gaps is there. Why is it there? One of the reasons is electricity supply, poor certification, and the like. A host of it were mentioned. Environmental sustainability. I won't overflog that. Workforce and skill deficits. I won't overflog that because I don't want the video to be too long. Limited promotion of tourism potential. The country actually has a lot of potential, but we need to promote more of the tourism and bring forth more tourism idea, that we ensure that everything that a tourist, a person that seeks after hospitality, will actually enjoy. Those are some of the challenges in Exhibit 2. We will move on to practical solution to Exhibit 2 now. And because I wouldn't want this to be too long, we will spill it over to the next video. From GJAMES Associates, Gbenga, Olatunji FC, we are value to life. We are value to your businesses. Now that we know that the examination is based on Donald Trump and is an hospitality guru. So you see that hospitality flows throughout all the exhibits. From your role context, you are Dan Kabir, a training consultant. The company that is employing you is Techno Consulting Services, and your supervisor is Michael Chukuma, a partner in charge of hospitality group within the firm. As per your responsibility, you must not forget that you are to prepare financial analysis and performance reports for the hospitality client. Also, you must identify weaknesses in clients' financial statements and proposing solutions. Don't forget you are a training consultant. A consultant is known by providing solution. Third, you are to be evaluating operational and strategic business proposal to ensure alignment with your company's or their clients' objectives and proper risk consideration. While we preempt what questions may come in, these are your broader overview of responsibility. 4. You are to be assessing financial and business forecasts along with their underlying assumptions to make a recommendation to the user of your information. Also, draft reports based on your analysis. Don't forget, draft reports based on your analysis for the partner's review. Now, focusing on hospitality industry, which is the third aspect that we are looking at. Techno consulting services specializes in high growth industry, particularly the hospitality sector, in which Donald Trump is known for actually. So the success factor in your role now will be determined by your being up to date on both local and international hospitality trend. As per the background of your organization is an 1,000 employee firm reputable in consulting industry. Okay, so we move on to examinable areas without wasting much of our time. Financial analysis. Now you are to be interpreting. You may be asked for key financial metrics like profitability, liquidity, solvency, efficiency ratios, and the like. Also, your ability to assess trend is important for success in this examination, especially exhibit 1. Your ability to assess trend in the financial statements, identify areas of that requires improvement. Strategic business analysis is important for you to display, and as regards it, understanding of strategies in hospitality industry is key. Now is a few days to your exam. Now you may still quickly read up on hospitality industry. Pick some companies, preferably I will advise you pick one of Donald Trump's organization, look for their financials and the like in order for you to be able to have some grips about strategies. 2. Evaluating alignment between the operational plan and the strategic plan. I hope you know they are different. If not, go to my CSME playlist and ensure you find out all these strategic objective, operational planning, and the like videos that I made as regards this. We are giving ourselves tip. If you want details, there are a lot of detailed videos as regards every aspect that the question may come from that I had made. Another aspect which is examinable is risk assessment. Risk assessment, identifying first of all, is the first step of what risk is in your organization. Then understand the risk mitigation strategy that you want to use. There are a lot of risk mitigation. Do you want to own it? Do you want to accept it? Do you want to transfer the risk and the like? I have a playlist on risk assessment and risk management. Go and look it up. Forecasting and assumption is another aspect that you need to display and maybe examined. So evaluating the validity of financial forecasts and business plan brought before you as a consultant is important for you to be able to demonstrate such a knowledge. Assessing whether assumptions are realistic or not, are smart or not, reasonable or not, and aligned with the market condition. You need to be able to. Report writing is important. And when we are talking about report writing now, we are talking about when you are writing your solutions to this question, make sure your answers are coherent, that is linked with one another. It makes judicious sense, is clear, is precise, that is no waste of much words. Just go straight to the point. Draft professionally as a consultant. Okay, we cannot overemphasize your hospitality industry knowledge. So your awareness of key drivers, success drivers in hospitality sector is very important. Customer satisfaction, cost management, competitive strategy, and the like. I've done videos on every caption of this thing that I just mentioned, strategies that I just mentioned. Look it up and quickly listen to it. Also, understanding of trend now in digital transformation. Sustainability, which I've been pointing, if you've been following me, is important. It may come out. Also, post-pandemic recovery. discovery of hospitality industry. Your knowledge of it may come out. Let's quickly talk about problem solving. In problem solving, questions may arise and you need to demonstrate ability to develop actionable recommendation based on your financial operational analysis. You need to be able to justify your proposal in light of the industry and evidence you've gathered. Clarity of communication, that is communication skill, will be the last that I will be talking about now. Ensure that your presentation, your findings are effectively addressed to a senior colleague or a client and is balanced technically and is accessible. Accessible means that it gets to where you want it to get to. So this particular exhibit 1 now that we've touched on is we examine your ability to integrate analytical knowledge, technical accounting knowledge, industry knowledge in consulting context. So ensure that all these are taken care of. Next, we will be talking about exhibit 2, which is on the Nigerian economy and the hospitality industry. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe and join. Soonest enough, I will release the video on the Nigerian economy and the hospitality industry, which will be our exhibit 2.